believe Buffalo is going to win it, folks.
Kick your heels up and down.
We've seen why the Buffalo Bills are en route to the playoffs.
Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout.
Buffalo Bills go undefeated. And we're going to the Super Bowl, yeah.
Now, baby, come on.
No one
Come on
circles the
and
wagon
shout.
like the Buffalo Bills.
All right. We are live, and we are back. Listen, welcome to another episode of the Overdue Bills podcast. And listen, I mean, we are excited. We're excited. We have a real special guest, here with us. But before we get to our guest, let me introduce my guy, Mills, a.k.a. Mills. Done spent all of our money getting these samples, but it's all good. Mills, what's up, man?
What's going on, man? Just excited to be here, talk some football, big game this week, big game this week, man. A lot of people say it's a revenge game, so, I'm excited to talk some Kansas City versus Buffalo football.
Absolutely. We're definitely excited for that, and we're super excited because we have our guy. You see him from last year. We had him on the show.
Absolutely, we're definitely excited.
Our guy, CJ, man, what's up with you, man?
My guys, what's going on? I missed y'all, man. I ain't followed y'all boys in a minute. What's going on? What's popping in New York?
Man, it's all good. Listen, you said y'all got good weather. We got some good weather too. We was in the 70s today.
There we
not
go. Same
too
here.
cold, not too cold, but everything is going good. Mills, you good?
I'm good, man. But before we get started, man, I gotta ask my man CJ a quick question, man. They beat us in the AFC Championship game last year, and we had a bet, man. We sent CJ some wings, man.
Oh yeah,
I wonder how those wings was, man.
Oh yeah, A1, bro. Y'all Buffalo for a reason. Them things was fire. I tried the blue cheese. I ain't really a blue cheese guy, but it was cool though. I'm still ranch all day, but the blue cheese was straight though. But the wings was A1. The wings was fire though. The wings was A1 though. Y'all did y'all thing with those. I couldn't even imagine. I need to come up there and get them fresh one. But they was good though. I appreciate that.
For sure. I mean, obviously the wings A1. And matter of fact, before we even get into that, let's do this, Mills. Please let the people know who sponsored this show. Let the people know, man.
Man, this show is brought to you by no other than Buffalo Wing Kings. Being from Buffalo, there's two things the guys here on the Buffalo Overdue Bills podcast know, and that's Bills football and wings. Our first choice and the best choice is Buffalo Wing Kings. At Wing Kings is Wings 101, with over 101 flavors and a beloved Wing of the Month special each month. Opening a new location at the University District on Main Street, available for Buffalo games, parties, whatever you got going on. Stop at their Elmwood Village location at 484 Elmwood Avenue, or give them a call at 716-248-1427 and find out why they say, and we know, that they have the best wings in town, hands down. And when you go there, if you mention our name, Overdue Bills Podcast, you'll get an extra 10% off of your order.
Absolutely. Shout out to Buffalo Wing Kings. Y'all already know the vibes. Please definitely get your wings. Sunday night game coming up. So go there before the game. Get your wings from Buffalo Wing King. I do apologize, CJ. I don't understand how people can eat ranch with wings. But listen, that's neither here nor there.
Ranch is trash, bro.
Absolutely.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah. So, nah.
It only belong on salad.
He said, bro, who is this man? Dog?
Absolutely.
He said trash?
Yeah. I never I really can't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me, man.
It has to be a cultural thing from different parts of the country. Y'all don't eat ranch at all? That's definitely the opposite here, bro. People don't
salad.
Here, bro.
Salad is about it. That's about it.
Dang, that's wild. Not even so if you was eating what you had like chicken strip or something?
I mean, nah. It's blue cheese. It's blue cheese. That's the thing.
Chicken and blue cheese.
Okay, people down here, I see them put ranch on their pizza. Y'all do that?
I've seen some people do that.
It's good though. It's not nasty. I'm not trying to do no pineapple shit. No ranch on pizza's fine.
I do blue cheese with pizza.
Yeah.
I know you do that one. Duh.
That's the thing. That's the thing. though. It's like you know, it's crazy because even like when people move from Buffalo and then it's like, yo, they like, yo, I eat ranch now. I was like, all right, then go somewhere, bro. Like that, it don't make sense to me. But that's neither here nor there. That's one of the differences. Many more differences on this show. I'm letting you know that now. But before we get into the show, real quickly, I need to let the people know. OverdueBillsPod.com. OverdueBillsPod.com. We got your merch needs. Listen, we got all different shapes, colors, sizes, t-shirts, hats, the whole nine. And listen. Shout out to Rad's grandmother. Rad is not on the show, but Rad's grandmother is our first breast cancer awareness survivor, and we're running a special. We are donating 10% of the Overdue Bills Pod merch sales when it comes to our pink Overdue Bill hoodies, t-shirts, hats. You know what I'm saying? Listen, please go cop that right now. Shout out to the merch we got on OverdueBillsPod.com. All you got to do is go there and, you know what I mean, click that merch button at the top, put that card in, bingo, we got action. All right, so please, check us out there. We definitely appreciate everybody. But listen, let's do this. Y'all know how we do it. Quick question of the day. And I'm going to ask you first, CJ. CJ, who is the best team in the AFC right now?
Best team in the AFC? I mean, y'all boys got the record, so I'm going to have to give it to y'all right now.
Okay.
But things going to change this week. But as it stands right now today, Thursday at 5 o'clock our time, 6 o'clock y'all time, y'all got the record. So, hey, what's the quote? Your record says you are what you say you are?
Yeah.
And then what the coach says? So, y'all got the record. So, y'all got the title for now. Y'all got it. So, I got to give it to you.
I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. I was expecting a little pushback, but it's all good.
I'm a former athlete, bro. I know how it is. You are what your record says you are. If you playing good ball, you got to give credit where credit is due.
That's a fact. But really, that was just, I had to throw that in there for the Bills fans out there. But I really wanted to ask a question about the two quarterbacks we have. Because coming off of last year's season, Josh Allen had a career year. And obviously Patrick Mahomes, he, was still Patrick Mahomes. He was still, arguably probably one of the best quarterbacks out there. And both players got paid cash money, you know what I'm saying? Dinero. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of money. But I wanted to ask you, CJ and Mills, respectively, from a Kansas City perspective and a Buffalo perspective, how do you feel about Patrick Mahomes' start to this season? Because there's a lot of talk about him being, I guess, bored. There was I don't know if you ever seen this on Twitter and a lot of the other publications. They had breakdowns of him and that little flip pass he do. Like he's just throwing the ball out there like he's real Brett Favre out there. Like it doesn't really matter. Like he's just throwing the ball up in the air. Like he's kind of bored. He's just, out there doing things. How does the Kansas City fans feel about Patrick Mahomes this season?
It's kind of I've had that tough conversation with a lot of fellow Chiefs fans. It's kind of tough, and breaking down football, where a lot of people's favorite players they get emotionally attached to it.
Right.
So everyone wants to feel like, well, no one's as far as for me being a player's perspective, that's how I think of things, and I help coach. No one's above reproach. Mm-hmm. So if you made a mistake, you have to be accountable, regardless if you're Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, or if you're Teddy Bridgewater, or whatever, like some of the bottom quarterbacks in the league. Everyone's held accountable to the same standard, regardless of how talented you are. So talking about Patrick Mahomes this year, he has made some mistakes that he usually doesn't make. They're very uncharacteristic. Throwing a lot of, I call YOLO balls, kind of throwing balls up into double coverage, kind of trying to see what sticks. I kind of think he's kind of fell into he kind of had this issue really bad when his first year started. He's gotten way better since then. I call it BPS, call it big play syndrome. You always want to make the big play every time he's out there. And you kind of have to have that tough conversation of if they give you a 5-yard check down, Mills, you're going to take it every time, right? Like you don't go broke taking a profit. So it's definitely and he's not the only one. There's a lot of quarterbacks that go through that any point in their career. Mahomes, Josh Allen, Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz, Kyler Murray, Lamar, on and on. All the athletic big arm quarterbacks who can extend plays once we extend it, but sometimes they take it too far. So Pat definitely has been a victim of that this year so far, for sure.
Absolutely. And Mills, I'll ask you too about Josh Allen, but you can expand that simply because obviously when we look at last year, we played the Kansas City Chiefs twice. First game 26-17, Chiefs got the best of us, and in the playoff game it was a shellacking. It was just really a bad game all around. Tyreek Hill had a career day. I was just looking at even some stats like Travis Kelce. I think like in the 2 games, it was like 18 receptions and like 200 plus yards. It was something insane. So Mills, how do you feel? Like, do you think that the Buffalo Bills, including Josh Allen, is better than we were last year?
I think we have more confidence this year.
Okay.
We came and made it to the AFC Championship game. Last year, and we fell short. It was a learning experience. If to this day, if you look at the Kansas City Buffalo Bill matchup, you see the picture of Stephon Diggs at the end of the game, just standing on the field, soaking in a moment. I think they learned a lot from last year. Coaching staff as well as players, and a lot of our players are the same players we had last year. So we're going in there with that same, collaboration that we had, that same mentality, teamwork. And I think we're in a better spot, this year going into Arrowhead. And just as a team in general, as you can see from the previous games, except for week 1, we had a good 3-game winning streak, domination, as you would say. So I think we're in a good position right now. And I'm excited to see what we do on Sunday night.
Absolutely. Listen. This is the game of the week by far, game of the season, if you look at it. But really, we can really get into the game, right? Like, we could just dive right in because that's what the people want to hear. Because we're looking at matchups, right? Matchups. That's the key to the game. Last year we saw, obviously the Bills didn't necessarily bode well for us. But even before we get into the matchups, we got to talk about these injuries, right? And CJ, let me go to you first because you do have some people on the injury report. Are y'all expecting Chris Jones to play?
Go ahead.
You can go.
I saw the report today. They told me everyone practiced except Chris.
Okay.
So Chris's wrist still must be bothering him from that Philly game. So I don't think the wrist injury is big enough to keep him out as far as what I've known. He's been in the building, obviously still going to meetings and everything. He just didn't practice this week, which is probably a precautionary thing. You can still learn. Defensive line play is more about pads. They don't wear pads during the week anyway. So
right.
You don't want to injure anything. But as far as I know, everyone's been practicing except Chris so far today. So
Now let me ask you this, because the reason why I bring Chris Jones up, because last year pressure was a huge concern, meaning with the Bills, right? Like last year, Josh Allen was under pressure when we played y'all for some strange reason. Like we couldn't block. I don't know what happened, but this year it's been a big concern with the team, right? Kansas City is not necessarily getting a lot of pressure. We're gonna talk about the defense in a minute as a whole. But how do you feel about the defensive line this year? Like what are the issues going on?
The defensive line room it was a question mark coming into the season because we all knew Frank Clark's off the field situation,
right?
So we knew that was going to play into a factor. Then you come into the season, him having injury history, and then he's piled on more injuries this year, and the depth for the D line room hasn't been that great as much as you've all seen. I don't think Spags is comfortable enough to put a lot of other guys at defensive end. That's why Chris Jones is playing somewhat defensive end,
right,
even though he's known all pro, one of the best in the league for being a D tackle, that 3-tech, 5-tech. So I would like to see him move back to D tackle, but I don't know if Spags is comfortable putting anybody else out there as far as because there's other guys in the D line room that are trying to find names for themselves, like Dana, Tashawn Wharton, Kalen Saunders. Like there's other guys that are trying to get it going, but it's just so hard because there's so many question marks in that room. That defensive coordinators, you know how coaches are, they always go with what they know.
Absolutely.
If they're comfortable with Chris being out there, they're going to keep him out there. So it's definitely tough because they've had to blitz a lot more and put more pressure on the quarterback because the front four has not been getting the job done this year. So that's a fact.
Interesting. Definitely going to be something to see. And Mills, let's get to the Buffalo Bills injury report because I'm kind of upset. Matt Milano, it's not looking like he's going to play Sunday. Really, I don't know if I guess you consider him obviously he's one of our best players on defense. Him and Edmonds between the linebacker position. But Mills, how do you feel about that? Because I believe T. Whitey's going to play, Jordan Poyer. All those guys, even though they're on the injury report, it seems as if they're in the at practice, they're in the meetings. Like it seems they're trending on the way up. But they're saying Matt Milano has his hamstring injury and he may not play. So Mills, how do you think that's going to affect the Buffalo Bills going into this game Sunday?
Like you spoke of it earlier, in the AFC Championship game, we felt at getting pressure. Pat Mahomes was doing whatever he wanted to do out there. And if you don't get pressure on him, he's a magician back there. He can do whatever he wants to do. So we have to get pressure. from the linebacker standpoint with Milano, hamstrings are very, very sensitive. You can be out from a week to, you can miss a whole season with a hamstring injury, depending on how severe it is. So, with it being early in the season, I wouldn't be mad if he didn't play because, like I said, it's early in the season. We have, 13 more games to go. So, it wouldn't be that big of an issue for me. But speaking of a defensive as a whole, defensive side of the ball, the front four is everything. The front four is important. We can get a lot of pressure on Pat Mahomes. That takes pressure off of our linebackers. It takes pressure off of our cornerbacks and our safeties because it forces Pat Mahomes to make quick decisions. Either he has to get out the pocket, and force a pass, which he's great at doing, or, he has to throw the ball away. So as long as our front four can get pressure and, we have an amazing front four, we can rotate guys at any given moment, and still get the same production. It wouldn't put too much pressure on our linebacker core. So I think our game plan, be just to get pressure on them and to make it easy for our linebackers as well as our safety and our corners.
All right, let's do this. Let's get right down to the game, man. That's what the people want to hear. Let's get right down to the game, to the nitty gritty. And I'm really gonna put this to both of y'all because when you look at the Chiefs, right? It's interesting because this year, obviously, they haven't been hitting on all cylinders like they were in previous years, right? It seems like there's some little bit of chinks in the armor. But I'm going to ask you, CJ, just straight up. The Bills, granted, we haven't played the best schedule, but by all the metrics, PFF and everybody out there, we have the best defense in the league. I mean, it's just a fact. Like, we've shut out two teams, obviously. The Pittsburgh game, they really didn't necessarily do anything on offense. And by PFF standards, we pretty much have the best defense in the league. And you just tweeted, I might add, by PFF, the Bills have not allowed a pass over 20 yards this entire season.
I didn't know that. I'm like, that's a lot of quarters not allowed to. A 20-yard pass, like the 20-yard pass really aren't that hard. That's like a dig or maybe a corner. And not one. That's impressive.
It's crazy.
Okay, that's impressive.
It's not including run after the catch. It's just 20 yards downfield.
Yeah, so just 20-yard pass.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. You run after the catch is different. Yeah. Short run.
But still, I mean,
that's crazy.
It's a crazy
that's
stat.
Still hard,
Four games.
Now, granted, shout out to Davis Mills. He's terrible. but I mean, I can name the other quarterbacks. But even still, just that stat alone is just kind of crazy. It's eye-opening. But I'm gonna ask you, CJ, how do you think that y'all are gonna attack the Buffalo Bills? Because the first game we played y'all last year, CEH ran all over us. And for those of you who are in fantasy, do you think that that's a play? Is that the way y'all going to go, or is y'all going to just spread the ball out and just see guns a-blazing?
For the past 2 weeks, Clyde has definitely got it going. He's definitely had already 200-yard games this year. So the past 2 weeks have been positive. The LA game, even though he put the ball on the ground, we don't want to see that. And then the Philly game, he looked good as well. So obviously, overall, that game last year I think that was a bad weather game. I think it was like snowing and raining. Yeah. That game we played y'all, so that called for a lot of ground and pound. This week, like we both said, we expect good weather here. So Sunday night, it's going to be good weather, not cold, not hot, and nothing got to worry about any of the conditions coming into play. So I expect both quarterbacks to air it out. I expect it to be a big, heavy pass game. Obviously, you guys have a good secondary. Davis is one of the best in the league. Micah Hyde is respected as one of the best in his position as well. So y'all got good guys back there. But y'all know Andy, man. Y'all know Pat. If they're going to go down, they're going to go down swinging with what they do. And what they do, they love to throw the football. So Clyde will be involved for sure. But as much as I expect our defense to, I want them to play a good game, but if I'm being realistic, I think they're going to struggle because the way Josh Allen's been explosive the past couple of years, all his weapons are hidden. Emmanuel Sanders is locked in. Cole Beasley's still there. Diggs is one of the best in the league. So, I mean, Zach Moss got it going the past couple of weeks. So Josh Allen has weapons. So respectively, you can't expect going into that game and our defense is ranked bottom of the league right now.
Terrible.
So we can't have any expectations of saying, we're going to hold this team to under 21, 24 points. That's not realistic. I expect this game to be both teams to honestly get 30. Because most of the times when you want to beat the Chiefs, you have to score 30. So I mean, the Chiefs are going to at least get you 33, 34. So it's going to be a higher scoring game. So I don't expect either defense really to have a day. I expect both quarterbacks to play very well because the Chiefs defense has not been playing well. So I know Josh Allen and Dable are very comfortable. I know they got a good game plan this week. And I expect them to come out way, way, way more aggressive. I told a lot of my friends that this week, when we played y'all in the playoffs, I thought Dable was very, very hesitant and scared. I don't know if he was very shy because I know Diggs is dealing with his injury. Beasley had the broken fibia or tibia in his leg. So I didn't know if and the line wasn't really protecting that well. So maybe he just wanted to conserve and not get guys hurt. But I thought they were very unaggressive in that game. And I was shocked because I expected a lot of shots. So I expect, like you just said, the confidence this year, Mills, And the way y'all been playing, Josh Allen is feeling himself, and he knows what it takes to come in here and have to win a game. Watching Justin Herbert come in here a week ago and see that, him being here already, they know what it takes to beat this team. So I expect them to be way more aggressive. I expect it to be a very high-scoring game.
Interesting you say that because Mills, when we look at our defense, like I said, we got, I mean, considering all the metrics and stats, we really have like a top 5 defense legitimately this year. But we do know that Tyreek Hill is a dog. We actually know that. We know that Travis Kelce is a dog. But it's interesting because this year our running game has been nothing but elite, right? It's been elite.
I've been running that ball this
So Mills, let me ask you this. How do you feel that we're going to attack this offense with our defense, right? We do have some new players on the defensive line. Do you think that Leslie Frazier and Sean McDermott is going to call up some blitzes, even though we don't blitz a lot? You think we're going to try to manufacture pressure on Patrick Mahomes, or do you think that we're going to sit back in the zone and just say, okay, Pat Mahomes, take y'all at the 25, figure out a way to get down to the end zone? How do you feel we're going to attack it? Or what do you feel we should do?
You know, it's a hard call because as you think about Kansas City, you know they're great, in the passing game. With all the weapons they got out there, and they just picked up Josh Gordon. I'm not sure if he's just going to be a decoy or anything out there, but, he's an amazing player. We know what he's capable of doing. And last year, the approach we took, we played, a lot of coverage, and we just forced Kansas City to run the ball against us. And they dominated on that end of the game as well, and that killed us. So it put us in a very, very shaky position. But what I can say about what I've seen from the first 4 games of the season is our front 4 or whoever we throw out there on the defensive line is elite. It doesn't matter what combination we put, they can get pressure on a quarterback. And, when you have people that you can just throw out there at any given moment, that keeps your players fresh. You know what I'm saying? It keeps your players fresh. So you can just throw people out there every 2 plays, every 3 plays, and just keep fresh bodies out there to get, pressure on a quarterback. But I don't think we're going to play as safe as we did last year with the capabilities that Patrick Mahomes have, and as well as what CEH did to us. I think we're going to play a balanced game. You're going to see a little man coverage out there. You're going to see a little zone coverage. And I think you have to mix it up a little bit. You have to give pressure on Patrick Mahomes because we've seen throughout the season that Patrick Mahomes is making bad decisions as well. You know how we yelled at Josh Allen last year for taking bad sacks and stuff like that, 15-yard losses? Patrick Mahomes is doing that right now. And at some points, he was just throwing the ball up in the air and hoping somebody would catch it. And he threw us some crucial interceptions. So I think we just mix it up, get some pressure, play some zone, play a little man, and just play the game as we know that we can compete with them. We are just as good as they are. You know what I mean? There's no fear in our heart. We just play a well-balanced game.
And we're gonna touch on that in a second. But I wanted to say this to CJ. You hit the nail on the head, right? Like the Chiefs' defense is awful. Like I think y'all allowing like 33 points a game. Like it's like really
all over again.
It's bad. Like it's really bad. It's like, and I don't even see I think the one I can't remember. The first game Honey Badger was back and he got the 2 interceptions. Who was that on?
Oh yeah, the first game he missed versus Cleveland, and he came back versus Baltimore.
And he had the 2 interceptions, and y'all still lost that game. But but like even in that, like I don't see the turnovers. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all had like in previous years, are not necessarily winning a turnover battle. But with that being said, like I don't know. Like I feel that even though the Buffalo Bills, we haven't necessarily been amazing in the red zone this year like we was last year. We have been struggling. But with y'all defense, I honestly feel like it's going to be a record day. Like
they're giving up 146 rushing yards a game. If we can rush for 146 yards, we're in a good position because that'll bring the play action in the game, and we have deep threats. And Josh Allen has one of the strongest arms in the league. So that's crazy.
If you got Zach Moss and Devin Singletary, I'm starting both of them boys. No hesitation.
you got to. You definitely have to. So CJ, let me ask you this. What can you speak to the defense and what is going on? Like what's the problem?
I honestly, from like a schematic standpoint, like I see a lot of plays. I watch a lot of film. Them boys not getting lined up. That frustrates me because it's the same coordinator with the same scheme. Right. Nothing's changed. The verbiage is the same. He's not changing everything. So a lot of these now, for the newer players, like obviously they got a lot of guys coming out. Like Nick Bolton's getting a lot of reps. We expect Willie Gay to come back and play this week. He's been practicing, so he's going to make his season debut this week. The secondary, we lost Brashard Breeland, but overall, most of the guys are still there. Dan Swarson, Tyrann Mathieu, Travarius Ward, Mike Hughes is new. But overall, most of the guys are still there. But like we just said, it all comes back to pressure. if you're not getting any pressure on the quarterback and they're not stopping the run, and your best defensive lineman, Chris Jones, is outside of the guard, which means you can double team and it's easy to keep him out the play.
Right.
Running the ball up the middle has been, and we faced two of the, if not two of the best rushing teams in football. We played Cleveland, Baltimore, and then Austin Eckler is one of the best backs in the league. Even though they're not really a predominant running football team, they ran the ball well as well. So when you have teams and when you get exposed on it, firstly, as any defensive job, first job is to stop the run before you do anything. If you can't stop the run, that makes the job for the quarterback that much easier. And like Mills just said, Josh Allen's confident right now. So if they know they can't get any pressure, they know they can't stop the run, I don't see why Josh Allen wouldn't have a good game. I'm not guaranteeing them to win, but Josh Allen should play well. If he doesn't play well, him and Dable aren't on sync, I would be very shocked. As bad as his defense is, like we just said, and as good as like him and Diggs have been clicking, especially with Emmanuel Sanders coming on, I don't know why the Bills shouldn't go out there and put up at least 25 or 28 points. And if you want to beat the Chiefs, like we just said, you have to score 30. So that's why I expect the game to be such high scoring, because Andy loves to throw the football. Pat loves to throw the football. Chiefs defense is bad. So I don't know what the over-under is. I think it's like almost 60. It's over that. Take the over every time.
We're both averaging 34 points a game.
Exactly. I'm taking the over any day. That game, and it's prime time. Guys going to be juiced up. Good weather. No cold or wet ball or anything. It's going to be a high-scoring game.
It's definitely about to get some over-unders in a second. But I think it's going to be a heavy play-action game for the Buffalo Bills. The issue about it is, we've been playing a lot of 11 personnel as of late this year. Last year we were, 4 wide, stretch it out, spread, and just let's throw the ball. Let's throw the ball as many times as we can.
Boy, Dawson Knox be getting G.
Absolutely, getting jiggy. So we go at 11 personnel. Dawson Knox is in there, and I think that's going to help us, especially even with the run game. So we're not necessarily.
They called him a tight end 1 this week,
right? He's playing like it.
I bet he probably cheap on down DFS too.
Oh, absolutely. But the only thing about that is, I think that people are going to target him though. Like now, like after that 2-touchdown game last week, I think so. So like, I wouldn't play him in tournament plays, but if you're doing cash games, but shout out to everybody Eats B. If y'all want to know about all that, we'll be here in a minute. But anyways, but so let's do this. Let's do this. Mills, if you can't get that up, let's do our expectation versus reality segment. And before we do that, Mills, can you please let the people know who sponsors this segment?
This segment is brought to you by the good people at Buffalo Pet Supply. Do you have a pet, looking into getting a pet, or know someone who has a pet? Then there's only one place to send them for everything to make that pet live its best life, and that's Buffalo Pet Supply. Specializing in fish, small animals, and reptiles, the knowledgeable staff at Buffalo Pet Supply can get you set up or maintain whatever setup you have. Stop down to see the family-owned and operated staff located at 1345 Military Road in Kenmore, New York, or give them a call at 716-874-1951. And like I stated earlier, if you state our name, Overdue Bills Podcast, you will get 10% off of your order.
Shout out Buffalo Pet Supply, where your expectation is their reality. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty. I'm going straight to CJ. CJ, what is your expectation of this game? Right, primetime game Sunday 8:20. Listen, everybody's gonna be watching. Shout out to Chris Collinsworth and the gang. What is your expectation going to this game?
Both high-scoring offenses, like Mills said, both teams been averaging 30+ all year. I think as the line right now, they got the Chiefs favored by 2.5. So that's a field goal either way here or there based on possession. So
right there.
Yeah, exactly. So, and the over-under is 56.5. I'm definitely taking the over on that. I think one of my friends said there was a parlay he was going to take. He took Josh Allen's total touchdowns.
Wow.
Travis Kelce's yards. And I think the other one was, I think he said, Zach Moss over under, how many touchdowns does he get? So I told him if I was doing that, I think the over under on Josh Allen, I forgot the exact number, but I think his total touchdowns was 2.5. So I said I would take the over on that. Woo. I think he gets like maybe 1 rushing, maybe 2 passing. I'll definitely take the over on that. Travis Kelce's yards, I forgot the exact number, don't quote me, but I think the over under was about like 80-ish. So I'll definitely take probably the over on that because he's always had a good game against them. And the Zach Moss one's the one that scared me because, as you know, he can get in the end zone and like our defense has been bad. I don't know. That's why I wanted to ask y'all, how do y'all think the coordinator is going to attack it? Like they know they can run the football, but does he want to prove a point to know that Josh can actually compete with Mahomes on the big stage. So that one, I'll leave that one to y'all. What do y'all think the last one gonna be?
I think it depends what position we're in. Like if we're on a 10-yard line, I think we'll run it in. You know, try and get a chance with a run in. But if we're on a 2 or 3, for some odd reason, we don't really run the ball on a 2 or 3 yard line.
Because Josh is the running back. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
you know, and we're running a little play action, you know, trying to get Dawson Knox on a mismatch on a little post route or a little flare out or something like that. So it's crazy. It's kind of hard to tell.
Exactly.
You know?
That one scared me, but it's a good parlay if y'all want to do it. So.
Yeah, it's parlays. Oh man, I don't want to get. I can't get too far in that. I can't. I'm still hurting off one I had yesterday. I'm not gonna plug this one site, but it's just getting crazy out there. I just let everybody know that. But anyways, it's interesting that you said that. The red zone is tough, man. I'm gonna be honest. We're about to get in some over under since you started that. We haven't necessarily been scoring in the red zone. Like we've been a little bit too cute in the red zone for my taste. I think that this game, y'all have that issue, but and I guess it is, but I think it's relying on the ability of our quarterbacks, like which is great, right? But sometimes less is more. Like I go back to Tom Brady. It's like even on 4th and 1s or when they're in the red zone, what do? They do a quarterback sneak. Like they don't do. It's not.
Money, like or a Super Bowl. And that's what I don't. Seattle versus New England when they didn't give Marshawn the ball.
It's like sometimes when you have this, when you get great quarterbacks and they have this crazy ability, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the Andy Reid or the Dable, the coordinators in them. They just want to show that. Yeah. So, but I think that we need to we got to just figure out how to just, less is more. I think we're going to attack y'all with running the ball. I think, as Mike says, Zach Moss, I think has scored the last 3 games. I think you can book it. Like, I think he's going to score because we're going to be in the red zone. We're going to be in the red zone, and we're going to run, and the Chiefs can't stop me at this point. And shout out, I was a decent running back. Shout out to the Little League Raiders, Eastside Tigers. Oh, yeah. But anyways, let's do this. Since you brought up Josh Allen, I see this here at a site I'm not going to disclose at this current time, but Josh Allen passing yards is 305.5. Over or under 305.5?
I call under.
I call under too. That's a lot just because they can run the ball so well this week. Yeah, I'll probably take under on that.
No, I think I'm going over. I'm gonna tell you why. I think I'm going over, only from the standpoint of I think that it being a shootout. I think it's going to be a methodical shootout, and what I mean by that is I don't think that everybody's going to score real quick. Like, you know what I mean? You score off this huge play, and then I score off this huge play. There's going to be some big plays, but I think it's going to take us, we're going to have some long drives. So I think Josh Allen's going to get his yards up. But Patrick Mahomes, 310.5. 310.5. Over or under?
Over for sure.
All day.
Really?
Bro, they only run the ball like 15
They
times.
don't.
If that.
More
flares on the backfield.
Exactly.
Stuff
And
like
I respect
that,
Buffalo's defense a lot more than the defenses like in Philly. So I expect them to get, and then when, like you just said, they got Josh Gordon, a new toy. They're going to find a way to get him involved. Kelsey, they've been using 2 tight end sets. Tyreek Hill got back on track last week. They're at home Sunday night. Yeah, I expect Andy to air that thing out. Win or lose, he's gonna lose off Pat's arm. Not like that.
They just giving Josh the number tree. Just say run 1, 4, 7. Because they
probably gonna tell him in the huddle. They're gonna be like, hey, Josh.
Ain't no way he knows the playbook.
You got to post on this. You got to limit it. Hey, he only been in the building a week, man. You got to give it, or 2 weeks now. You got to give his route tree. Can't tell him everything. So
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 51.5. Over or under?
Under. We only giving up 68 a game.
That's a fact.
51
and a hook.
That's like the 10 touches. I'll go under. Yeah, I'll go under. I'll take
really.
Yeah, I think they may throw him the ball. I'm like, you said rushing. Now if it was total,
but y'all don't throw, like Patrick Mahomes does not throw him the ball, man. Like,
and I don't know why they don't play design play.
He get a couple of wheel routes. He get a couple of wheel routes.
Like he get like 2 receptions a game, maybe.
Like, my goodness, like all he did was he set a record for like all-purpose yards at LSU.
I know
he does everything, and yet I don't get why Bieniemy doesn't design plays for him, like catching the ball. I know Kelsey and Tyreek are all world. They get their respect. I'm designing plays for Clyde Edwards-Helaire on a linebacker. Yes, all day.
All day.
He's shifty. That's what he does. So that part of his game, I wish they would expand more. So that's why for rushing, I'll take the under. I'll take the under on that too.
Wow, you heard it
he
first.
should, but I'll take the under.
So don't start CEH Sunday. That don't look too good.
I mean, no, like all-purpose yards. Hey, PPR counts. Like, so catches count. It's just they just got to give him the ball. He's been looking good the past 2 weeks.
He has been looking good.
He's been looking good. So he been a sleeper on DFS. I started him in a couple leagues.
They got Zach Moss at 34.5 rushing yards. How y'all feel?
I'm going over.
That's too easy. He can get 15 at a
I
pop. That's one play.
I think him and Singletary both gonna have about 60.
Yeah, facts.
I don't know why it's that low.
Nosebleed right now.
Yeah, I don't know why it's that low. Like 34.5 seemed like a lot to me.
Low.
Yeah, but hey, listen, that's more money for us. And Mike did say something in the comments. I will say that Milano's not playing. He's not going to play this week. That's the way it's trending. And with one of our best linebackers not playing, he's somewhat of our best cover linebacker, especially like guarding running backs out the backfield. So, again, the Chiefs, and this is my issue with this game. The Chiefs don't throw the ball to the running back, and that could be a weakness for us. So it's like
They have to do it. They have to do it this week.
I know we say that, but it's like y'all really don't. Like y'all haven't, like, and even on the reverse side, we don't run the ball. Y'all are one of the worst running defenses in football. So it's like what is really going to happen? I think that's
coordinator is going to get out of character and do what they don't usually do. That's why it's going to be fun. It's
a very, very, very interesting narrative. Like that. That's why I can't wait to see this game. But let's go to Robert Woods, 78.5 yards over under.
Robert Woods. We ain't talking about the Rams.
I mean Robert Woods. I'm sorry. I got Robert Woods on my fantasy team. I apologize. That's tonight. Listen. I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about that all day.
Hey, Mills. I've been
thinking about that. Yeah.
Mills said, we ain't talking about the Rams.
Listen.
I got Robert Woods. I slid on him. I got Cooper Kupp, though.
I know. I've been thinking about Robert Woods. You know what it is? I've been trying to trade Robert Woods in our fantasy league. I apologize, everybody.
I'm dead. That was funny.
But
Those got me weak, bro.
Stephon did.
You said that confident, too,
I
bro.
did, because, yo.
Robert Woods going off this week.
Yo, he been on my hurt.
Hey, bro, he white. Hey, Mills, he gonna be in the front of the TV like this tonight. He gonna be like this. Yeah. Come on, Robert Woods. Come on.
Listen, I'm scared. Robert Woods ain't been doing good, but I apologize.
They did say they want to get him more involved, though, Preach. If you
listen, I know. Said that. It's been in my mind. Listen, it's been in my mind. I set the parlay with the over Robert Woods. Yeah, I've been listen.
What he do?
But Stephon Diggs, 78.5 over under.
Speaking of fantasy team, I got him on my fantasy team, so I'm taking the over. I need Diggs to go off this week. I want Chiefs to win, but I need Diggs to have a day, boy. If he can get a tub or two, I'll be happy, boy.
It's definitely an over. You may not get a touchdown out of him because he really don't score that much.
I know.
But with him getting 13 targets a game, 7 or 8 receptions, he definitely gonna be over.
Thanks.
It's crazy. I looked it up again. It went up to 87.5. I don't know if y'all want that.
Robert Woods?
No, Stephon did.
Oh, Stephon. You never know what you preach, man. You all over the place now, buddy. I don't know.
Oh, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Listen,
86 is tough. That's tough.
Yeah, guaranteeing 80 is hard.
Because Josh going to do his progressions real good right now.
Exactly.
He's sharing the ball.
And Emmanuel Sanders be getting jiggy. And then you still got Cole Beasley's old and reliable. So you don't necessarily have to force the Diggs. So if they take Diggs out to play, somebody else gonna have a day. So 88 may be a little too rich for my blood.
It's tough because Stephon Diggs is really, really, really so good. He is. But I think that since that is true, like Josh Allen has been going through his progressions, and Emmanuel Sanders is a dog, right? Like he's playing out of his mind. Like Cole Beasley is still Cole Beasley, and Dawson Knox is playing great too. So I think that if he's not throwing 350, 375, I just don't see how Stephon Diggs can get over that. Like, I mean, it's going to be very, very, very difficult for him to do this year because we just have a better team. Like, it's just better players around him now. But it's interesting because as I look at it, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce is at 89.5, both of them. So are we saying over or under?
I'm saying over for Kelce. I'm gonna say under for Tyreek.
Yeah, I think they do a good job, but they don't want Tyreek to have a day, even though he had the catch and run during the Buffalo game. But yeah, I think they do it. They try to. Any team's first mindset is to, hey, take him out the game. If anybody beats us, don't let this speedster who can take it 80 yards to the crib off one play. Let like Travis Kelce beat you methodically down the field, like you said earlier, Sam. Like force him on the 25, force the Chiefs to have a 9, 10, 11 play drive. And I think that's what D coordinators are trying to do. Make Pat have to beat you with his brain instead of just beating you with athleticism in a 3-4 play drive.
And it's tough, man, because Tyreek Hill killed us last year. Like, it was embarrassing. Like, he was literally all over the field. Every time
That's why I expect them not to let that happen.
It was a soft coverage zone, though. That's why I said I think we play a little more man this year.
You got a man. You got a man, Tyreek. If you play off any kind of cover, like if you do like cover 2 with an off corner or cover 4 quarters or 6, you can't play off him because he's going to run by any kind of coverage. So you have to man him and keep his safety over the top. That's what usually gives him the most issues.
We definitely
play off in any kind of zone. He can figure out a way to sit in a hole. That's too easy.
I would say that we would go too high safety, but like my only issue is Travis Kelce. Like our safeties is too good. One of them they have to shadow him. They have to bracket
I'm
him.
Micah on a bit.
Absolutely. So I mean, it's like
and Poyer on that ankle injury. Hopefully,
Poyer personally. I'm taking Micah. Micah playing. But see, Micah's better in the D3 though. So I don't know y'all want Poyer back there.
See, that's my point. Like, this game is like racking my brain because we really, like, realistically, we don't know what we're going to do. Like, I think even both teams, because the other team's weaknesses is something that we don't necessarily do often.
Exactly.
Like, that's just not how we play the game. So it's going to be interesting how Dable and Andy Reid kind of call the game, right? It's going to be very, very interesting to see that. But even with that being said, let's get to the nitty gritty, man. We've been on here for a few minutes. Everybody got a good laugh. Hopefully Robert was. I need to go watch the game. Y'all know that.
I'm definitely watching too. I got Cooper Kupp, Matt Stafford, both on my teams. So I need them boys to get jiggy.
I got Stafford too. Mills tried to trade me the worst trade ever for Matt Stafford.
Mills, what you offer him, bro? Mills, don't be offering no bull, dog.
Jared Goff.
He tried to get me for.
And who was it?
Jared Goff and Calvin.
Oh no, it was Calvin Ridley.
You didn't include Jared Goff in no kind of trade. Nobody want Goff included nothing.
CJ, I need a quarterback, bro.
I know you do, but Stafford's been the best value of any quarterback in football this year, bro. He wasn't drafted in some of the leagues I did in, and he's been in QB5 almost all year or QB7.
That was my keeper, and they laughed at me. They laughed at me at the draft, but they see it now. Laugh now, cry later.
Everyone Matt Stafford and McVay was going to be like peanut butter and jelly, and they thought I was stupid. People really told me Jared Goff and Matt Stafford were like this. People, dead to my face, told me it was like this. Like it wasn't that big of a difference. I'm like, y'all are serious? Okay, watch.
The man tried to trade me that though. I was like, Mills, come on now, like stop. And the crazy thing is because. And I'm sorry, this is not necessarily a fantasy show, but I do want to say this. I wanted Calvin Ridley's out for this game.
Bro, if you would have got away with that, Mills, that would have been stealing.
Well, I knew it. So I traded him, Chris Godwin, Melvin Gordon for Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley has not been playing good this year, or at least
that's a solid trade because Chris Godwin is a wide receiver too. Melvin Gordon has been a really damn good running back this year, better than I expected him to play. I thought Javonte Williams was going to take his job.
The problem is I really wasn't thinking no to trade. The problem is I'll never pay Melvin Gordon. So I'm really trading one for one.
I feel you on that.
Mills,
but did you need a running back or you just really wanted to get
He do now because Chris Carson suck.
He on my bench anyway.
Okay.
He on my bench anyway.
Listen, let
Chris Carson suck. That's funny.
The show getting off the little rails. Listen, shout out to Everybody Eats B. Yeah, we got to get CJ on Everybody Eats B. That's our fantasy.
I got you. I got you. I'm down for fantasy. I got you.
Let me ask y'all this. Give me your predictions on this score, man. That's what the people want to know.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Well, CJ don't got on a red today, so I know he got Kansas City losing.
They caught me fresh off the gig. I was at work. It's Red Friday tomorrow. Y'all should come in on Friday so I had to wear my red shirt.
But I got Bills 34-27.
Okay.
Ooh, that's nice. I got the Kansas City Chiefs. Y'all know how it is. Y'all know how we doing Kingdom. I'm gonna go Chiefs 33, Bills 30. If you want to be the Chiefs, you got to score 30. I think it's gonna be a goodie. I want it to be a high scoring game too because I'm gonna be in the building, so I need action. I need this.
I love it.
Yes.
I love
Sorry.
it. I love what?
Sorry. Since we've been off topic all day, Chris Carson is not playing today.
Oh, Alex Collins.
I'm starting Alex Collins. Yes.
I picked up Chris Carson in a parlay for under 54 yards. So I'm already solid on that.
It's a push.
Good.
It's a
guaranteed.
push.
Boom, just like that.
But no, you don't.
Money.
They just take it off they take it off.
Oh, they take it off the books?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. You don't get no money for that.
He's
not playing.
That was good.
Nah, he's not playing.
That's cheating, bro. He said they take it off.
Nah, they just can't. The bet is done. They cancel it.
Yeah, they just take the bet. Depending on whatever the better is, they usually take it off. But it depends like how close it is to kickoff. So game in for like another 2 hours, they probably just take it off.
It's just a non.
If it was like a game time decision, like close, then maybe you could have got away with it.
Right. Because I was doing on a site I'm not naming. I was doing, and listen, please out there, if you out there, listen, please do not
Hit
do
me
it.
that link, bro. I need that.
Don't do NBA preseason. It's wild out there.
That boy in Phoenix.
Yo, NBA preseason is wild. Like, yo, I went under.
You a wild boy for the preseason?
I went under
Wow,
Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish had like 30. Like, who knew? Like, yo, boy.
Cam Reddish cold. Cam Reddish so cold. But I can't wait for him to break out though. I love Cam Reddish.
Goodness, hurt my heart, y'all. But let me get out my score. And this is the honest. I'm gonna be honest, man. I got the Bills 42, Kansas City 32, man.
Ooh, a 40 piece?
A 40 piece.
Spicy.
Bills 42, Kansas City 32. You heard it first here, man. I'm gonna be honest.
74 points.
I don't
bruh.
care how
I
many
like
points
that.
it is. Hit
Hey,
the
I like
over.
that.
Spike the over.
He's talking real spicy.
I'm gonna keep it a stack, man. I honestly think that. Listen, it's a revenge game.
Mad.
No, I'm
He
not.
did the Madden
I'm
simulator.
not.
Playing all Madden.
Listen, it's a revenge game for the Buffalo Bills. I think that Josh Allen will be dialed in. I think Sean McDermott's gonna get the kids ready. I just like my only thing is when I say like Kansas City is like the defense is really bad. Like the Eagles was just moving the ball. Like had they not been
really
silly and
were.
just were kicking them stupid
They
field
really
goals,
were.
like they were just moving the ball. I know we can move the ball, man.
Y'all, cause that's why I expected y'all to score a lot in the AFC Championship game in January. But we were getting pressure because Frank Clark was dialed in. The defensive line was playing good. But the D-line room this year, I can't defend them or they've been bad.
Terrible.
Frank Clark should play. I mean, Frank Clark's not playing. He's been out. He's been inactive like the past 3 weeks, so he's not playing. Willie Gay will be active, so I think that'll help out a lot. Maybe that'll help us bring blitz and bring more pressures. Hopefully Juan Thornhill gets more reps. I do not know why Juan Thornhill's snaps have went down almost every week. He's been getting more, but overall his snaps have been tremendously low compared to his first rookie year when he started. So overall, I don't think our defense is good enough to stop y'all, and I don't think your defense is good enough to stop us because we're so elite. That's why I expect the game to be so high scoring. But 40 points, that's spicy. Hey, that's spicy. I like that. That's spicy.
But that's why I don't think it's going to be that high because what you just said, CJ. Because I think the Bills are skilled enough on defense to not try to force, so many touchdowns to slow the game down a little bit. A lot of teams that Kansas City played, they took a lot of risks because they knew what Patrick Mahomes was capable of doing. I think we're skilled enough on defense that we don't got to take that many risks. We don't got to go for it on 4th and 8, on 4th and 7.
We're not. I mean? We're not punting. We can't do that. We did that. We tried to do that. So
which one works? You try to make conservative. Which one works?
No, we're gonna go guns blazing. That's a fact. Honestly, this is how I feel. I think it's gonna be the third quarter. We're gonna be up by like I think 17 points. And honestly, I believe that the Kansas City Chiefs are gonna try to it's gonna be garbage time points, and it may come down to the wire. We may let them come back in, but I'm really seeing a 42-32 game. I'm gonna keep it a stack, CJ.
Appreciate y'all, the worst team in the AFC.
They're terrible on defense. Like we gotta call a spade, and I'm calling this for the record. I'm calling this pick 6, man. I'm calling a pick
to the crib.
To the crib, man. To the crib. I'm calling a pick 6. I'm telling you, and I'm gonna tell you the road. It's gonna be Travis Kelce. Actually, it might be Levi. It's gonna be Travis Kelce. He gonna try to do a button. It's gonna be like a 3rd and 8. He gonna try to do a button on the outside though, not a button on the inside, but a button on the outside. T. White gonna go off this man. Pick 6 to the house, man. I honestly believe that. I honestly believe it's gonna be a pick 6, or it's gonna be some type of turnover to the end zone, whether it's a sack, fumble, or something like that.
Game. It's gonna be a crazy game for sure. I mean, like you said, you gotta call a spade a spade. She's been putting the ball on the ground this year, so they tried to clean it up last week versus the Eagles, but before that, they had 2 games in a row where they turned the ball over. So, you're right. So, teams gonna be punching at it. So, gotta be high and tight, man. It's gonna be an exciting game. It's an exciting game, bro. I can't wait, bro. I'm so excited to go. I'm so excited.
Absolutely, man. CJ, let the people know where they can find you, man. Let the people know.
Hey, y'all know where y'all can find me at. Find me on Twitter at CGZ81, CJEEZY81. Y'all can DM me, at me. Talk about anything. I'm down to talk football, fantasy, daily, whatever it is. I'm always down to talk football. I appreciate y'all for having me on. Y'all know I love y'all. Y'all my bros. I appreciate y'all. Anytime y'all need me, y'all know my phone is open whenever.
Absolutely. Shout out to CJ, man. We've been talking even through the off season. We were waiting for this day. This day has come. Listen, and it's gonna be a doozy. It's definitely gonna be a barn burner. But I need to let you know this first. We still have our contest going for this week. You have a chance to get a $30 gift certificate to none other than Buffalo Wing Kings. Listen, we got
60.
you. No,
60. I'm matching.
Mills said he was matching. Listen, but you have to get the score right. You got to get the score right.
Nobody got it in 2 years.
Nobody has gotten it. So please predict the score. Shout out to Tara. She just gave me her score in the comments. Shout out to her. But please predict the score. Put it on. We got it on Facebook and Instagram. So put it in the comments on Facebook and Instagram. Tag, like, and share that joint to your page. If you want to put 42 to 32, that's probably the best bet because that's what it's gonna be. But so listen, the contest is going. Please do that. And if also, because since nobody has gotten a score, you have to get the total number of yards passing yards for the Buffalo Bills. Offensive passing
total
yards.
offense.
Total offense.
Total offense.
So it's total offense period. So total offense period for the Buffalo Bills. Put that down there. That's for the tiebreaker. Total offense period for the Buffalo Bills for the tiebreaker. All right. So I think that we got that out the way. And let me say this again: OverdueBillsPod.com. OverdueBillsPod.com. Listen, we got the merch going. Listen. We got the breast cancer awareness. Shout out to Raz's grandmother for our first survivor. We will give out one next week. Our second survivor. But listen, we got that. So just go on OverdueBillsPod.com. That's the pink hoodie, the pink hat, and the pink t-shirt. So please go cop that. We got all your needs there. And I believe that's it for the show. You got anything, CJ?
Oh man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all kill it every time. I'm gonna say, hey, next time when they come up to Buffalo, I'm gonna make a trip. I'm gonna come holler at y'all boys. I ain't been to New York. I got an aunt that stay in Queens, so I'm gonna have to come up there and holler at y'all.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Please come holler at us. You know what I'm saying? Buffalo's on the map now. Shout out to Griselda. Shout out to the Bills. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody.
I fool with Benny. Benny be playing on my phone all day, so shout out to the butcher.
Absolutely.
I fool with Benny. Benny my guy.
Yeah, and that's what the Bills is telling the Kansas City Chiefs. Butcher coming. But all right, listen. We end every show with a little bit of that. Hey, 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 hey.
Hey, hey.